Hey everybody, it's Mandy with Sumptuous Living, and I am sharing one of my absolute favorite, best ever easy cheater, because you're so smart. We won't say lazy, we'll say smart. Weeknight meals, and it is a Veggie-riffic Chicken and Yellow Rice made with a rotisserie chicken. So back in the day of being, I don't even know what, before rotisserie chickens, and maybe I thought it was being like, the ultimate Martha Stewart chick, I used to get all these chickens, like 6 chickens, whole chickens, in the market, and go ahead and season them up and cook them up all myself. And then I would take all the meat off and I would put them into Ziploc bags, which actually was a huge time saver back in the day, but now there's rotisserie chickens, so you'd be a fool. They're bigger than the bird I can buy, especially if you go to Costco. It's like a pterodactyl. If you go to Kroger, it's like a pigeon. It's like les pigeons. You can act like you're French or something, but Costco, those Costco pterodactyl birds that are only like $5, $6, they're huge. And you take them home, and I still buy like 6 of them all at one time, and put on, How to Get Away with Murder or something, which is, one of my favorite shows, and go ahead and then peel off all of the meat. White meat mixes in with dark meat, and, because remember, I'm not a Democratic cook, so I'm not going to be picky about it. Plus, I'm going to use everything I got out of it. And I get 2 bowls, one for the skin and the bones, and one for all the meat. And then I take huge handfuls. I'm cutting up a carrot while I'm talking to you, but with my giant man-sized hands, but dainty hands work fine, too. And just put big handfuls into Ziploc bags and stick them straight into the freezer. And then you always have chicken that's already cooked for soup, enchiladas, tacos, salads, chicken salad. Anything your heart can possibly desire as far as chicken goes. So, and we went over last week about cutting up a lot of stuff. So if you're looking at how to cut some of the veggies that we're going to make today, and I will put in a link at the end of all of our comments. I'll put in there with the link to the actual recipe on our website, or you can search our website at sumptuousliving.net for chicken and yellow rice. It's called Veggie-riffic Chicken and Yellow Rice. It's also a great way to get your kids to eat veggies. And I've known people who have very, 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 very picky eaters at their house, and they love, inhale this dish. And it's a great leftover the next day. It freezes awesome. It's like so many good things in one. So if you're watching, tell us where you're watching from, and make sure to send us any questions. I'll be looking at the screen and seeing who is, we've got some things. Hey Renee! So we are going to cut up a bunch of veggies. I've got carrots all set to go, and they're ready. And then I'm going to have some peppers. And again, last week I showed you how to cut a pepper. If you think you know how to cut a pepper, you don't know how to cut a pepper. It's so easy and so good, and with no waste. So anyways, you could do this dish completely vegetarian if you wanted to. I am from Louisiana. We'd be disowned if I don't eat meat. So I have chorizo and chicken in it. And chorizo is like a Mexican sausage that can come in the store either cured, like a hard smoked sausage, or it can come like ground up. And either way is fine. The ground up version is going to produce more oil, so you don't need to really put any oil in your pan when you're cooking it, because it'll exude oil, and you can just use that to cook all your other stuff. If you use the dried, cured stuff, it's going to be less oil, so you may need to add a little olive oil or veggie oil, whatever you have on hand. And so here's some things about veggies in your food. If you leave them big enough to identify, then your kiddos, who might have some kind of although they're going to love it in this dish, but if you leave them big enough to identify, they're easy enough to pull off to the side of the plate, and they can keep their lips zipped while you're eating dinner, so that you don't have to hear, there's this. Well, it's big enough for you to identify, and you have a fork, and you have hands that are able to pull it off to the side of the plate, and you can keep your mouth a little quiet and tell me how the rest of the dinner is delicious, right? Because we don't need picky. If you can do whatever you want to, as long as you can deal with your own issues. I'm an independent issue operator, basically, is what I say. So anyways, I've got these veggies all cooked up and chopped up. And we have carrots and fire roasted corn is going into it. It's not something you really want to eat on its own because it's like way crazy on the fire roasted. It's like almost eating an ashtray if you're eating it on its own, but if in gumbos and not gumbos, but chili and tacos and enchiladas and this kind of a dish, it is amazing. So it's a great addition to add some smoky flavor to your food too. And I get mine at Trader Joe's. It's really easy if you have a Trader Joe's there. If you don't, regular corn is just fine too. If you can find fire roasted corn, all the better. So we've got different kinds of peppers, and don't be afraid to just use even a frozen bag of peppers. This is a quick, easy weeknight meal, and it's total cheater friendly. So if you have frozen peppers in your fridge and you want to be able to dump and stir, I don't care. There's a glass of wine calling you, and it saves you time so you can enjoy that more. So anyways, we're going to cut up some cabbage too, which makes it really pretty. I love the cabbage in it. The purple is so nice. Then give that a quick chop, and then we're basically done. That's all the prep aside from some garlic. And I know there's a lot of different presses out there that are handy. I love this one that comes, it has like little, can you see it? It's got little holes in it like a honeycomb. And, hey Leslie! So all you have to do is take your garlic onto your cutting board and you just press down and the garlic comes in through the other side. So I'm not that much of a gadget girl. I like a big, nice big cutting board. But I like this one because look too, it keeps all the garlic inside the little gizmo until you're ready to get rid of it. So we're going to get that done, and then next we go to the skillet. So it's like maybe 5 minutes of prep, if that. And then everything goes into the skillet and cooks all at once. All in one pot. One huge, enormous, and I'll show you my gigantic bagungo skillet. I'll also put a link to that skillet. It's my favorite one. I have 3 of them. They're ridiculous big, but I'm 6'1" and my kids are huge and they love to eat. But the other thing too is if you don't have as big a big eater family like I do, you can put all of this in the freezer, and that way you're even more of a smart cookie, we'll say. I could say another word. A smartie that you have dinner not just for tonight but for tomorrow or next week or 3 weeks from now or last minute. All you have to do is take it out and defrost it really quick. Okay, all right, so all my chopping is done. That's it. The other things I want to show you, okay, so here is something called sofrito. It's backwards because of the camera, sorry. So this is sold in the grocery store in your Hispanic aisle, along with something called sazongoya. These 2 things are like all the flavor wrapped in one. What this is tomatoes and garlic and peppers, and you can make your own sofrito if you really wanted to and you're adventuresome, but again, we're doing the cheater way today. And then this is just like a seasoning packet. It's good in all kinds of rices and stuff like that. So those are the things that we're gonna do. So I'm gonna switch you over to my skillet. Here, let me show you. Oh, whoop, that was crazy. All right, so now we've got the skillet. Do you see this giant thing? It's as big as me. This is the best ever. It's like a commercial grade skillet, and it's huge, huge. Let me make sure you can see him. There we go. All right, all good? Yay. Okay, so I have the chorizo. It's all right here. And that is going into my pot. Let me grab a wooden spoon. I love wooden spatulas that are spoons and spatulas all together. So that's going in because this is the ground kind, and I said that it's going to have a lot of extra oil. All it has to do is go into the skillet straight up. And it's going to get hot and cooked up. That's a little bit of chorizo getting all hot and bothered in the pan. And then we also have all of our veggies. So I've got bell peppers. And that can go in and cook along with the chorizo. So today, when you have comments, go ahead and put in some of your extra, like, quick, easy things that you love to make with a rotisserie chicken. We would love to see that because maybe we can even write a recipe about that. Or if there's something that you would love easy other things that you could cheat with in the kitchen. Like what are your top things for ready-made little pantry and freezer cheats? Put it in the comments so that we can see it, because we all love learning new tricks too. Okay, I'm going to grab the carrots. Oh, see, it's already getting nice and brown. You can't see it, I can show you. That's cooking up, and then in go our carrots. And we've got all the other veggies. So I've got just frozen corn from the straight, not even defrosting it, because it's going to get defrosted instantaneously into the skillet. That's all going in too. Now the one thing I'm not going to add is the rotisserie chicken. If you've ever noticed that when you take a rotisserie chicken and then cook with it after, what happens to it? It turns into just shredded, it just disappears into your dish. And we still want to have chunks of chicken in there, so we're going to save that for like the last 5 minutes. It's already soft. It's already totally cooked and, you know, delicious and juicy. And we don't need to have it cooked more all through the course of the rice. So we're going to add that at the last 5 minutes. So other than that, I'm going to go ahead and add in our purple cabbage. And this is like a paella or a arroz con pollo, which is great. I'm turning up my heat. Here goes everything dumps into the pan, like literally, all together dumps in. And then I've got sofrito. And this is like a Tex-Mex Southwestern spice, the McCormick Montreal chicken spice. It has a lot of cumin in it, and that's what gives you that smoky heaviness. And if you don't have that, and you maybe have like a taco seasoning, either packet or a jar of that, you can take that and do half cumin, half taco seasoning, and that'll make yourself a good Southwestern-y spice. So that goes all in there too. So does our sofrito. Nice heaping tablespoon of it goes in. And then our packet of sazongoya. And it's literally everything's going in this pot. Because back in the day when my husband and I were first married, our deal was that I would do the cooking, and until we had kids, he would do all the dishes. But now I got 3 kids, and that's not their plan anymore, so I get stuck doing the dishes most nights, and so of course, one pot is great. And literally, you could be cutting each of the vegetables and adding them in. You don't have to have them all made ahead. You could literally start browning your chorizo and start chopping up your veggies at the same time, so that from start to finish, it's like 30 minutes top. It's great. So give that a quick stir, and then I'm going to add in my rice. This is a packet of yellow rice. So again, no measuring. This is one of those little packets that already comes with the yellow rice seasoning. And I'm going to stir that all up to make sure all the grains are everywhere around the pan before I add in my water. And they're kind of coated with all that yummy flavor from the whole rest of the pan. And can you see? Can you see? Can you see? It's so good. It's so heavy. I swear, this one pan will totally change your life. You'll see me cooking out with it a lot. It's kind of more of the star of our website than I am even, because I love this skillet. And I think it's like maybe 40 bucks. It's not even that expensive. But I have 3 of them. That's how often I use it. All right, next goes in the water. And then a big pan like this, if you don't have a lid for it, you can literally just cover it with tin foil to cook. Because that's all that it took. Everything is completely done. It goes in there, and it gets hot and bubbly, and gets happy. Ooh, I forgot our garlic. So let me put that in too. And give it a stir. Make sure everything is all happy. It's brought up to a boil. I'm going to reduce it to a simmer, just like any other time that you're making rice. And then I'll give it a cover. And let me show you the final deal. See? It's all fluffy and delicious. You can see it. And then my favorite, I think it should be its own food group, is cilantro. I don't know about you. If you're one of those people who thinks it tastes like soap, that's not your problem. You have a genetic thing. But if you're not, and you're like me, who wants to have a whole mess of cilantro on it. So see, look, let me show you. If we can get you where you can see it. There's the before, whoop, and there's the after. So we're just going to top it with cilantro now, because my family all loves cilantro. And I did a dumpy dump. And see, it's all completely fluffy. You see? It's so pretty. It smells amazing. Amazing. See? Isn't that good? And in 20 minutes, like 20, 30 minutes, you're done. Done with dinner, rotisserie chicken heaven. So that was it. I'm going to put the recipe in our website, the website link in the comments below. If you have anything, and I'll answer any more of your comments the rest of the day. So have fun, and make sure you check out sumptuousliving.net for more easy weeknight dinners that you can get done in a flash, and then put it in your freezer to have another batch of it the next time that you need it. All right, bye everybody.